online, and on your smart speaker. Find your career in civil construction at Wagner Corporation. Now hiring. Visit wagnercorporation.com.au.
Hit News Briefing.
Hey there, it's David Chirac with your news briefing. As expected, the Reserve Bank boards lifted the cash rate, but by much more than anticipated. Interest rates rising by 50 basis points to 0.85%. That's an extra $200 or so a month to a $750,000 mortgage. Ryan Felsman from ComSec says it's another strike to that family budget.
Certainly we are seeing higher labour costs, but also at the same time we're seeing fuel prices, rents and food prices all increasing in conjunction, and certainly at the same time we're expecting to see the Reserve Bank continue to lift interest rates into the back end of this year.
The Prime Minister has headed to the island of Sulawesi on day 2 of his trip to Indonesia. Anthony Albanese says Australia will continue working with the region to strengthen cooperation and expand the relationship. It comes after he met with the Indonesian president in Jakarta yesterday. Well, after 4 years of uncertainty, the Biloela family will begin making their trek home today, departing Perth for Brisbane. The family of 4 will then make their trip to Biloela on Friday. Queenslander and friend Angela Fredericks has jetted over to WA and will make each flight back with them before big celebrations at a festival this Saturday.
An official welcome back to the family at the Flourish Festival. And then, of course, the next day we have little Tarnika's 5th birthday. And so this is her first birthday, not in detention in her little life. And actually show her what an Australian party and celebration looks like at our local park.
Another Polly has contracted COVID. Victorian Health Minister Martin Foley has tested positive to the virus and will sit out of the state parliament this week. It comes after his New South Wales counterpart also caught coronavirus this year, along with federal Pollies Pauline Hanson, former PM Scott Morrison, and new PM Anthony Albanese. And the AFP's announced a crackdown on money laundering by the mafia down under. Federal police will look into some 50 Italian families allegedly linked to organised crime. Assistant Commissioner Crime Command Nigel Ryan says Australia is working with Italian, US, Spanish and Brazilian authorities.
The Ndrangheta are not just an Australian problem, they are a global problem. They are responsible for 70 to 80% of the world's cocaine, and they are flooding Australia with illicit drugs. They are pulling the strings of Australian outlaw motorcycle gangs who are behind some of the most significant violence in our communities.
Wherever your journey takes you, insist on quality and reliability. Insist on an Australian-made Century battery. Find yours today at centurybatteries.com.au.
Queensland is out to break a 5-year drought in Sydney in tomorrow night's Origin opener. Coach Billy Slater says there's no secret about what it takes to win in enemy territory.
Play well. That's the key to winning anywhere, is your actions on the field.
The Warriors, meanwhile, have confirmed the departure of coach Nathan Brown, effective immediately. The outgoing coach telling club chiefs he couldn't relocate to New Zealand permanently. Assistant Stacey Jones will take the reins. Melbourne ace Stephen May has been suspended for one match by the club for getting into an altercation with teammate Jake Melksham while drinking on the weekend. He'd been under concussion protocols at the time and was not meant to be drinking. While Nat Fyfe has told Fox Footy he is likely to spend most of his return this weekend in the forward half, when Freo hosts the Hawks.
I mean, there's no point in going back into the midfield and playing a role that Will Brodie or Dave Mundy or Caleb Sarong or Andy Brayshaw have done so well.
Finally, the Socceroos will face the UAE tomorrow morning in their must-win World Cup playoff.
Experts Group, providing caring quality dentistry at affordable prices.
Mostly sunny conditions in Toowoomba for the rest of our afternoon with a top of 13, dropping to 5 tonight. Mostly sunny 12 tomorrow with a cooler low of 4. And our listener app is your new home of local news. Download to listen live or on demand now.